Hello, this is Allie Short, and today I'm going to be introducing AP Psychology free response questions. I hope you find this video to be helpful. So the AP exam itself is 150 points. 50 of those points are possible to be earned on the free response questions at the end. So you're going to have 2 essays total, and each of these are worth 25 points. So that means each question is 16.67% of your overall score of the test. Each essay has a specified number of pieces, typically presented in bullet points in terms of vocabulary terms that you then apply to a question, and the idea is that each of these represents one possible point that you can earn. Then they calculate whatever your percentage is, convert it into a score out of 25, and that's how many points you earn towards your overall AP score. So I want to make it clear that those points that you are getting out of 25, if there are 8 bullet points, the question is going to be worth 8 points in terms of grading, but then when they convert it to the score, they're going to make it out 25 points. And if there's 11 bullet points, they're going to give you a score out of 11, and then they're going to figure out your percentage, and once again convert it to that 25-point score. So probably the hardest part about the free response section is the timing, because you have 25 minutes per essay. And what I want you to do is to maximize the time and make sure you make the best use of it. The first thing that you absolutely really should donate 1 or 2 minutes to is understanding the question. What is it asking? Annotate the question, underline key terms, underline the verbs. What is it asking you to specifically do? If you do not accomplish those goals, this isn't partial credit land. This is all or nothing, and so you absolutely want to make sure that you're answering the very specific question that they are asking and doing that to the best of your ability. Then I might spend some time outlining your essay. 3 to 5 minutes is recommended. I would probably keep it closer to that 3-minute mark so you have a little bit more time to write. But this is an important thing. However, it is important to understand that you receive absolutely no points for any of the content that you have outlined. So you should have more than 15 minutes to write your essay. The closer it is to that 20-minute mark, the better that it is. But hopefully if you've taken the prep time, you won't have any major errors, things that you have to cross out, which are fine. You don't lose points for that. However, when it's a timed essay, you maybe want to get your thoughts down as efficiently as possible once you start writing. So what does the College Board, which is the name of the company that provides the AP Psychology test, what are they expecting to see? And they're expecting you to be organized and to be well-written and consistent. And they are expecting you to be specific on both your references and the discussion of psychological principles or problems. This means that you can't be vague. You need to use the actual terminology. You need to demonstrate that you understand the content. Make sure you're using the term that is referenced in the question. You want to make sure that you're doing that. You need to cite evidence and examples to illustrate your explanations. You are largely making this up. This is the creative writing aspect of this question, which I actually think is pretty fun. So have fun with it, but make sure that you're picking an example that is obvious to the point that you are trying to make. Clearly state the intent of your evidence or what it does. Does it support something? Does it contrast with something? Does it provide evidence? You need to make sure that it is clear what this stuff is doing in your essay, why it is there, and why it is helping you answer the question and do what the question wants you to do. State your points clearly and directly. So the test grader is not going to assume that you know anything. You should make the assumption that the test grader doesn't like you. They don't like your handwriting. They don't like the way that you write. They don't like the slant of your letters. They've been grading for 48 hours straight without breaks. And they do not want to give you the points. So you want to make it as easy as possible for them to give you the points. So this brings us to the 3 C's, being clear, concise, and correct. So being clear relates to the next C of being concise, but you want to make sure that if you are putting pen to paper, the readers of your essay will understand what you are trying to say. Be direct. Do not leave room for confusion. Do not be vague. Their general assumption is going to be that you do not know what you're trying to say. And if they can make the assumption that you don't know what you're saying, you're not getting the point. So second C is concise. You have a lot of tasks: designing specific psychological terms, providing and explaining support of those psychological terms, describing and relating them to the question. This means you want to waste as little time as possible doing anything else in your essay. So if it is not helping you accomplish the goal of answering this question, don't include it in your essay. And finally, we have being correct. Always be as specific as possible to the degree to which you can be correct. In general, these 3 C's are generally good advice on all essays, on all tests. However, being bold. If you aren't sure about a term, please just go with your gut, pick an answer, write a paragraph about it, and hope that you're right, because it's all or nothing. So you don't want to hedge your bets. You just pick an answer, you commit to it, and maybe it's the right thing, and maybe it's completely wrong, but give yourself a shot. So what you actually do in your essay. So the first thing you can do is write an introduction, 1 or 2 sentences tops. Honestly, I probably would just skip this. You're not earning points for it, but it's up to you. Use the specific psychology terms and the specific names of theories, the specific name of theorists, the psychologists that we studied. Highlight anything that you think is important, bubble it, whatever. Do something that makes it easy for the grader. Once again, remember that they are grading for hours on end. They don't want to give you the point. You have to earn it. Define all the terms that you are answering. Those bulleted points provide the definition. However, if you're using something else, it may be a good idea to somehow include the definition of that term in your answer as well. Support, support, support. Defining the term is not going to earn you the point. If all you're going to do is define it, you might as well just not write anything, which is silly because if you know the definition, you should be able to earn the points. So this is very, very important. This is not the time to relate it to yourself, relate it to the question. Clearly state the purpose of the example. This supports or contrasts, like here's my example, which is doing X, Y, or Z. Make sure you include that. And something that I think that you should be doing, this doesn't actually help you earn points technically, but anything you can do to help the grader, help the reader, can help you as well. I would draw a little bracket on the side of each of your paragraphs and label the term that is correlating with that paragraph. So if you write a question on the availability heuristic, I would draw a little bracket. In the margin, write availability heuristic, and then the next bullet, the new term, would get its own paragraph and get its own little bracket labeling it as well. So now we're introducing the concept of dead. Define, explain, apply, describe. And unfortunately, this is something that I wish I had invented, but I didn't. I got it from Mr. Fox elsewhere in our district, and I don't know where he got it from originally, but I think that this is a really great idea. So this is define, explain, apply, describe. And the idea is you're doing all of these different things within the essay for each individual term that you are asked to apply to the question. And the idea is that if you do these 4 things, you should definitely earn the point. So do you really need to do all 4 of these things every single time to earn the point? Technically, probably no. Do you need to define it to earn the point? Absolutely. Do you need to apply it to the question? Absolutely. The explain and describe to me are that extra structure that ensures that you as a student actually do what you need to do in order to earn the point. Something that students struggle with is to actually make sure that they are applying it in a way that demonstrates without a doubt that they understand it and they are using it the way that shows comprehension. And so define, explain, apply, describe. If you do these, it's a shoo-in for the points, but we're going to look at essays that have been written by other students and how they scored, and you may notice that they don't have this full define, explain, apply, describe, but what we want to do is ensure that you absolutely are going to earn the point if you know the definition and understand that concept. And so that is the purpose of this. And we're actually going to go through an example of dead later in this video. So why might you miss points on section 2 of the AP Psychology exam? One obvious reason is that you don't know the content. And you may have heard my beautiful baby girl, Katie, here in the room with me. Yes, you're beautiful. You also need to make sure that you write in complete sentences. If you didn't write in complete sentences, you're not earning points. However, you can add diagrams, you can add illustrations, you can add graphs to support your answer, but you can't bullet and outline your answer. So that outlining anything that you do at the beginning, that's not going to earn you points, but diagrams and illustrations can be helpful. If you only provide a definition, they're not giving you a point. There's no partial credit for a definition. If you don't apply the content, and if you don't specifically apply the content to the context of the question, the scenario that they have provided, you don't get it. So even if you sort of demonstrate comprehension in some way, if you're not showing that you understand it as this question is specifically asking, it doesn't help you. So let's give it a try. I've modified a question that was on a previous AP Psychology test, and hopefully this will help you understand this process. So this is not a complete question, this will be just one part, so one bullet of a question with potentially 8 to 12 bullets. So Brunhilde just finished her junior year at Hilliard-Davidson High School. Go Cats. She knows that she wants to attend college. Describe how the following will play a role in her college application process. System 1 decision making. So what you're being asked to do is define what System 1 decision making is. You are going to define, explain, apply, describe. System 1 decision making as to Brunhilde's decisions regarding college applications. And you're going to be able to make up stuff as part of this answer. Alright, so what about Brunhilde? Let's check out a sample essay. So we have System 1 decision making, also known as the autonomic system, is one that is rapid, uses heuristics, and is intuitive. So we have defined what System 1 decision making is. So that's the first part of our define, explain, apply, describe. And I bolded and underlined it, indicating that maybe you would want to circle, highlight, underline this in your answer on the actual test. This means Brunhilde will be using material. No, Katie, you're not helping. This means Brunhilde will be using mental shortcuts and gut feelings to make a decision. So I'm explaining it. Brunhilde visits the Ohio State University and immediately falls in love with the brick building, urban environment, and a boy named Brutus. That's the application. She uses her intuition, her immediate liking of Ohio State to make her decision to apply. That is described. Go Bucks. So in this example, we've done all of the define, explain, apply, describe. I want to be clear, though, that this is one paragraph that you would include among many paragraphs to answer an actual question on the AP test. Also something, just to reiterate, I would label this with a bracket on the side, and I would label it as System 1 decision making so that the grader would know right away that this was the paragraph about System 1 decision making, and that is the context that they should be looking for in this question. So that's it. Good luck on the AP Psych test. Good luck on Section 2. A special shout out to all those people who have the joy and misery of taking the AP Chem test in the morning. Katie, do you want to wish everyone good luck? Wish them good luck? No? No? But you like the microphone. That's good. So good luck and see you in class.